To the Corner Store podcast, where real conversations meet real opinions. Before we get started, we want to remind our viewers and listeners that all opinions shared tonight are those of the host and guest in their personal capacity. They do not reflect the views, positions, or policies of their employers, affiliated organizations, businesses, or any other entities they may be connected to. Everything discussed on this platform is strictly opinion-based and intended for conversation, community engagement, and open dialogue. With that being said, sit back, relax, and stay engaged as we take you inside the Corner Store. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and invite somebody into the conversation. The door is open. Let's get into it.
Hey. Welcome back to the Corner Store. And tonight, I know you guys haven't seen us in a while, but tonight we have something special and sweet, pun intended on the sweet. So we got some snacks coming to the Corner Store. But before we do that, I'm going to bring up our co-host, Mr. Edmund Richardson, Micah King, and Slick King. What's going on, my good people?
What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, another day, another dollar, another day to holla. Everybody good on that end?
Yeah, man, doing good.
Oh, good stuff, man. Can y'all believe football is back? My favorite time of the year, where football season is in full effect. I get told the wife, hey, put them honey-do lists for Friday and late Sundays. So
Hey,
are y'all excited about football?
I'm over here trying to do a fantasy draft while I'm online.
Man, I'm in me and Slick are in a group too, so we got drafts and all that coming up. But I'm in other groups. Man, these jokers have draft order parties. Do they do that with y'all up there?
Yeah. You sometimes we'll meet up at some locations and have a draft party and like it's a real draft.
It's a real they calling the players.
We do that too, but they do a draft order party. Not even the draft party. They have a party to see where you pick at.
What are you gonna pick? Okay.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Two of those.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you. Yeah.
So y'all like some real GMs. Y'all calling the players too? Hey, would you like to be a part of this organization?
Hey man, I'm ChatGPT gonna be my GM this year.
Not surprising.
Hey man, gotta do what I gotta do, man. They use analytics and AI in the NFL,
Right.
Bring it on
to
the
get out of that box right there.
No, ain't no box right there.
Yeah.
So, since we're on the AI debate, and it's not gonna be long. Would you rather look up something manually where you have to go through the site the sources, make sure it's factually done, or whether you have the summary that provides you the sites and the websites with the sources, so you can cut to the chase?
The latter.
But I can tell you what makes a good GM is being able to see through the BS. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the numbers don't always speak the truth.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah. I would never go by the numbers, but how they use analytics, you can tell how a defense performs against a certain offense.
I think analytics has killed the game, bro. I think coaches are straight up lazy right now, and they are going straight off analytics. Kobe Bryant is not an analytical basketball player, and he does not score in the current analytical field. But everybody know Kobe is the GOAT. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not sure how you fit that in analytics, because what's the guy over at OKC? He's an analytic buster. You know what I'm saying? His shots, they say, are not friendly to the numbers. You know, so but he's one of the best players in the NBA. So who's right or wrong?
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to analytics, that's historical data that goes by trends and patterns, things that have happened. Where are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? I mean, you can't. I mean, it has happened.
I think in some instances it does help them break it down faster. So I mean, you still had somebody running some number somewhere, even if they didn't have iPads on the sideline. Now they
Yeah.
just got real time data spitting it out to them and
Yeah,
saying,
but have you seen, you ever heard of the thing called plus or minus?
yeah,
So I didn't know anything about plus or minus. Now I also use data, but I use data based off of what you do well, you as an individual. All right. Like some kids shoot better from the corner. Some kids shoot better from the 3-point line. Some people shoot better, don't shoot threes well. So I can't.
he froze.
Yeah, we kind of froze up, Slick.
Oh yeah, he got that. He got that. That Bruce.
Starlink.
That Bruce Mobile.
Starlink, SpaceX. Oh man, before we get started, man, if you guys are tuned in, you're watching the Corner Store podcast, where a couple of guys and young ladies, when they're on with us from Glenville, Georgia, let you in on our group chat throughout the week where we talk about everything from sports, AI, politics, and local happenings. And tonight we have a special show where we want to shine and put the spotlight on a young entrepreneur from Brunswick, Georgia. And we would like to welcome, let me see if we can get her pulled up here, Miss Abby Cakes to the show.
Everybody.
Hey, Abby Cakes. Yes, yes. So Abby Cakes is one of my new adopted nieces, to where she's also her family's a client of mine, and we want to shine a light on her and give her an opportunity to tell her story on why she does what she does and what do we expect from her years from now. So Abby, tell
Yes, sir.
tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a young entrepreneur, and I started my business when I was 10 years old. I started it when it was Christmas last year, 2025. And the reason why I actually started my business is because my mom is a really good baker. And I asked her, Mom, are you going to sell your sweet treats? And she said no. So I took it upon myself that I was going to learn her recipes and sell the sweet treats and bake the sweet treats.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, what are two things that you've learned so far with being an entrepreneur?
If you do not follow the instructions, everything is going to go down the drain. And also, you have to stay very consistent, because if you don't stay very consistent, your sales will drop.
I love it. I love it. That's well spoken. Like, Abby, there are some of my clients that I have that are many years your elder that don't have that answer. They don't have a strategy like that. So I love that answer. And where are you located? So I know where you are, but I want the people to know where you are. What city are you located in? What state are you located in?
I am located in Brunswick, Georgia.
Awesome. Awesome. So, with your mom being a great cook, and she's very inspirational as well, I follow her motivational posts and all of that. Are there things you have to tell her when she's baking cookies, or does she always tell you what to do when baking cookies?
But sometimes I have to tell her. And yes, she does tell me stuff, but I have to tell her stuff too. You have to be calm when baking cookies, because if you get really frustrated, you're going to ruin the cookies. And it takes patience. You're not going to learn everything at one time.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And we don't have many more questions for you. I just want to thank you for blessing us with your presence on the show. And once again, if you're just tuning in, please share the live. Everyone out there listening in, we're on the Corner Store podcast, and we have a special guest, Miss Abigail Warrens, who's the owner of Abby Cakes. Abby, when you think of the future and 5 years from now, what do you hope becomes of Abby Cakes?
We're not even going to say hope. It will be, because words are powerful. It will be a franchise, and it will be worldwide, so everybody can try them.
Oh my God. Way to put me in my place. I told you she was wise beyond her years, very well educated, very well spoken, and full of wisdom. So, Abby, before we let you go, we're gonna play a game to see what your taste buds are like and your baking skill set is like. We're gonna play a game of this or that. So you have to tell us your
Okay.
favorite this or that. All right.
Okay.
So before we get started, in case you guys didn't know, she also has her own music theme songs. She dances, she sings. Here's one of her theme songs.
Whipping up that magic in the kitchen once again. Baking with my
I
heart,
love
got
my
them big
song.
dreams on my mind.
I love it too. I love it too. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's get started with this or that. So, this or that, cake or cupcakes?
Wait, which one is this and which one is that?
Which one do you like the best, cake
I
or
like,
cupcake?
or I love cake.
All right, cool, cool. Which do you like to bake the most, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Nice. Got a good one for you here. Which one of these, we're going to put her on the spot, do you see your mother eating the most, cookies or brownies?
Cookies. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, you heard that, Shawana. Put them cookies down unless they're Abby cakes. All right, last
And
one, last one.
not no ordinary cookies. Abby Cakes cookies.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Last one before we let you go. $1 million today or Abby Cake stores all over the world. Which would you take? This or that?
Abby Cake stores all over the world.
See, I knew you were smart. That
Because
is the
this
correct
thing,
answer.
you get more sales, you get that money, you invest it in stocks and day trading. Your money can multiply.
Oh, well versed with everything. So that is awesome, Abby. Thank you so much for joining the corner store with us. So we got to get some. You got to get us some cookies inside of the corner store. We got all kind of other
Oh
snacks,
yes,
so we need some Abby Cake cookies. All right.
definitely. That will be happening.
All right. Nice, nice. And you always provide a motivational Monday to start the week with those who follow you on social media. Can you bless us with a Sunday night motivational, inspirational message to the people that are watching right now before you go? Can you leave us with something?
Okay, so if no one is rooting for you, root for yourself. You can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens you. You just have to work hard, do whatever you want, and walk towards your dreams or even run towards them because your dreams can become bigger than you think.
I love it. I love it. And we're going to have our information in the chat of the podcast live. So you can follow her at Abby Cakes on Facebook and Abby Cakes on Instagram. And then abbycakesworld.com is our website. So, Abby, thank you so much once again for coming to the corner store, blessing us with your wisdom, blessing us with your intelligence, blessing us with your sweet thoughts, sweet motivation, and inspiration. Can't thank you enough. And I'll be checking in with you this week, and we're gonna see you around the world, all right? And we're not gonna hope
All
for it; it's
right.
gonna happen, all right?
And also, I just
All
want
right.
to tell everybody in the chat if you want to do something, start now because it can become very big. Just how Abby Cakes is, it has became very big. And please, please, please stay consistent. Please stay consistent because if you do not stay consistent, I'm telling you, it will be very hard for you to start getting more views, getting more sales, and everything.
I love it. Well said, well spoken, and I concur with all of that, Abby. So thank you once again for coming to the corner store. We'll be in touch. Can't wait to see what's coming for you. So big things are coming, all right?
All right, nice talking to you guys.
All right,
Nice
you
talking
too.
to
Peace
you.
and love.
See y'all
I love it.
All right, man. She is so smart. To where she's wise beyond her years. Her mother does a good job with her. Her dad, I always call stepdad dads also. So her dad, Wayne Govan, was a good friend of mine. He does a good job with her. So very well entrepreneurial spirit, very spiritual young lady and spiritual family. So big ups to them once again. But moving on with the show, man. Local politics. No, we won't go into local politics yet, but did y'all see the video of the couple with the Airbnb?
Glenville?
That went viral.
Glenville? Yeah.
Yeah, in Glenville. Yeah, it's kind of subsided a little bit, but man, when I tell you they have millions of views, and then it almost made me think that they're doing clickbait because they're monetized as well. So they're making money off of all the people who are downing their Airbnb listings through the views. But at the same time, people are saying they shouldn't do what they're doing, or Airbnb shouldn't allow them to do that. So any thoughts on that?
I've never been a fan of Airbnb. I do travel with a large family. I'm one of them people that rather just get me to either a suite or 2 hotel rooms. Airbnb got too many rules. Everybody that's registered, you only can have visitors if they're registered. My son, I was in Tampa, Florida. My son stopped by and visit, and he brought a dog. I got charged $200 within 2 minutes.
Dang.
So I'm done with that, bro. I won't do Airbnb, man.
So they were doing similar stuff at their Airbnb in Glenville. So what they were doing, and I'm asking, was it outside of the norm, or is that consistent with other Airbnbs?
Some of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say from the comments I saw, they were being tedious about things, about furniture being moved, food being left in the refrigerator. It might not have been a lot of food, but even you can't even smoke 20 feet within the front door of the home. And they found a lighter. No, they don't even know if the resident, whoever stayed there, left the lighter there. So I don't know if they've ever charged anyone, but in their listing it says they could charge you, which is marked up.
What I didn't like was it was the penalty for checking out late.
Oh yeah, that was
a little bit outrageous. They do charge you for checking out late. That was outrageous. They do ask you to take the clothing, not the clothing, but the sheets and stuff. And some of them would like for you to put them in the wash machine. Some of them would like you to put them in the dirty room. They do ask you to clean the kitchen, keep the kitchen at least wiped down. Trash. I had one wanted me to take the trash to the curb, So not only take the trash outside, but they wanted me, because I was staying between Monday and like a Thursday. They trash pickup was Tuesday. They wanted me to roll the trash can to the road on Tuesday. Man, nah, bro, I'm out.
Yeah, I've never stayed in an Airbnb, but I mean, to me, a lot of the structures are pretty much alike. Like the vacation homes in Orlando, they're pretty much Airbnbs with similar rules. It's just, when I saw the one in Glenville, it just, to see it go viral like that, they had too many rules that were too tedious, and then they were just being obnoxious with it. And then my biggest thing is Glenville's been in the spotlight for viral content, and then for it to be known for this type of stuff even more, to me, it shines a bad light on Glenville. So just didn't know if y'all had any thoughts on that. I don't stay in Airbnb much. I prefer a hotel, but it is what it is.
They were against Airbnbs here in town for a little bit. I don't know if they ever went back and did an ordinance or anything. Apparently not, but they were against them for a little bit because they felt like it took away from the hotel motel tax. But then again, there's really nowhere to stay here, so it's kind of like,
I'm about to say, where the hotel motel?
We don't. It's nowhere to stay here. So I don't know.
Is the Glenville Inn still open?
Why would you want to stay there?
I'm just asking, bro. That thing turned into the Carter, didn't it? At one point.
Cheerio, right? Yeah, Cheerio.
Cheerio.
That's like it though. There's no other hotels, motels.
Go to Hinesville.
What about the
Go to
one?
I gotta go to Hinesville.
They
Is
built a
that
new
a
hotel in
hotel?
Reedsville, right?
Supposed to be, but I haven't seen the first brick yet.
Yeah. Is that a hotel that the mayor is affiliated with? That's
That's
downtown
old
by
Glen
Gibson
Juanes.
McDonald.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh, the
That's
Glen
like a
Juanes.
historic building.
Yeah, it's a historic
Yeah.
building, but I don't think anything is ever gonna come of that. They need a lot, too much money to repair it, and it needs a lot.
Everybody froze but me.
Yeah.
We hear you.
All right, moving on with local politics since we're on that topic, man. Michael, you've been on the ground. You were at the latest city council meeting. Looks like there were some deep thoughts on it still. But what was the temperature check? What was the fever check? Are people still energized about getting the city council out through the method of voting? Since where are we with the petitions, or is what it is?
At this point, I mean, there is a petition going around, but I guess they're doing one at a time. So there is one going around. People still going to the city council meetings. Still a lot of a lot of discourse and people making public comment about it. I think if the petition doesn't go out or go around in time, then I think the best course of action is just going to be to vote in November. And that's really, as a citizen, that's one of our best defenses against bad government. People just don't do it. So all the people who feel like we need term limits or feel like your congressperson or your representative is too old, go vote them out. Find somebody to run against them and go vote them out. You feel like they aren't transparent enough, find somebody to run against them and go vote them out. You feel like they aren't doing the right thing or handling the budget properly, find somebody to run against them and go vote them out. Right. So, and I just did a video the other day that your vote could be the difference between us being in this situation and us not having to deal with this. So come November, go vote.
Yeah, I mean, this year may be one of the most pivotal years ever when it comes to voting.
Yes,
so
sir.
See the circumstances we're in now. So let's definitely get in and make a change. Yeah. And then Edmund, you're in all things Atlanta. What's the fever check on the the governor's race there? So I see there's a lot of action, a lot of things going on. I mean,
the governor's race right now, it is beginning to heat up. You're seeing a lot of commercials, but I think a lot of the action is in South Georgia. I see them down there campaigning hard and that area neck of the state, and so they recognize that you got to get beyond Metro Atlanta and go down there and speak to the issues that are affecting people in rural Georgia. And so that's why I see the campaigns. All the action I'm seeing is them traveling the state and campaigning down there in South Georgia. I know Keisha Lance Bottoms was just in Jessup, Camden County, I think, Hinesville, Savannah, Statesboro. So she's down there really campaigning, trying to speak to the issues of farmers and people, bread and butter issues, the cost of living and those things like that. And I think that's a recipe for a victory if you keep speaking to that, if people open to listening. Just like how I was very shocked, the mayor of Valdosta and some other small town in South Georgia came out and crossed the aisle and endorsed John Ossoff. And it was like, he's been good to us. He's been getting the resources here. And so taking politics out of it, we are supporting him for re-election. And I never thought I would have seen that day come. So, hey.
Yeah, I think the great awakening is here to where, man, the fear mongering is only going to go so far. But, man, people are feeling it in their pockets, at the dinner table, and in their gas tank. So all the fear mongering is out the window. We need tangible things, practical things, and things people can utilize to make a change and get out the hole that they're in.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, does she actually have a chance, you think?
Oh, no.
I mean, of course, they always have a chance, but
the numbers, I've always told people the numbers are just there now. When you look at the demographic shift, of the state when you look at the population. Um, Density in Metro Atlanta and how Metro Atlanta now is outnumbering the rest of the state. Most of the people that live in Georgia lives in Metro Atlanta, and along with the demographic shifts, every poll that has come out thus far has her in the lead, which I'm not surprised. I just didn't think that this change would come prior to 2030. But Atlanta is growing fast. Jobs are locating here. People are moving here, and traffic reflects that. And so it is really doable that a sensible Democrat, could win in November, and I wouldn't be surprised.
And it's not just Atlanta; it's all over the state. The energy is a little bit different, and the numbers, like Evan said, are there up and down the ballot. So it's not just the governor's race; all state house races, state senate races. The numbers are there, and they need to keep doing what they're doing. Keep coming down to South Georgia, because even if you don't win all of these seats, if you can just push the number from R plus 30 to maybe R plus 28 or 26, you're gonna make some headway, and then Atlanta gonna bring us on through. So I think they figured that part out. But even in these local state house races, state senate races, people got a shot, man. People got a chance. Just keep having the good, hard conversations. Keep it out of national spot politics. Keep it out of identity politics. Keep it focused on we hurting. Gas is too high. We got to drive 30 minutes to work average in the rural areas. We can't afford to do that. Food is getting costly. It's costing them a lot to be able to produce food as far as the farmers. All kind of businesses are closing down. All kind of small businesses are closing because of the rising cost. And we got to just keep having those conversations and not just talking about it and creating a boogeyman, but having a conversation of this is how we fix it. These are the policies that we put in place to fix it. So it's not enough to say, well, I'm anti-Trump or I'm anti-MAGA. No, what can you do for me to fix this problem?
Yeah, we definitely got to have solution-based answers to the problems. We know what the problems are. We see the problems, but what are the solutions, and then what are the strategies to optimize those solutions? And since you're our resident politician, Micah, what is the temperature check in House District 157? I see you're hitting the campaign trail. You're out mingling with the people, kissing babies and shaking hands. But what is the temperature check in 157?
So just like any other race, especially here in the rural areas, people kind of start waking up and paying attention around this time. So a lot of people are awakening to, November is right around the corner. So the areas are waking up. The communities that we really need to hit are coming into the enlightenment or the knowledge that they have a reason to go vote. And for a long time, there really hasn't been a reason to get out and go vote. But now there is a reason. I can't remember where I was, but I told them, hey, a lot of people make that excuse. We don't have a good candidate. Well, I'm the good candidate. So let's go make it happen. All right. So a lot of people, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of talk and talk of change and things like that. So we got a chance. I think it's looking decent. We just got to continue to beat the bushes and drive out the vote.
Yeah. And before we go, you see in this handle is votega157.com.
Froze up.
And I definitely got to get some merch from out of there, Micah. So definitely want to support him in his campaign initiative. We need change. I mean, we see where the status quo has gotten us, but we need something that's going to be a change agent. I definitely believe Micah could be that change agent to have a different perspective and different outcomes from where we are right now.
Yeah. And let me say this. So, when you go, make sure you vote the whole ballot. I know we're going to be voting for the top of the ticket and the governor's race. Make sure you go down the entire line, because I might be at the bottom, but the lower it is on the ballot, and I got this quote from Nikki Porche. She's running for labor commissioner. The lower it is on the ballot, the closer it is to your pocket. So make sure you vote the whole ballot. Make sure you vote the whole ballot. If you're talking about getting resources directly to your district, you need to vote for your state representative and state senator, because we control the budget. So vote the entire ballot.
Yes. I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, me and my family, we went yesterday to do our early voting for the primary here. So,
Oh yeah, y'all got a primary in Florida. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hearing reports all over the Southeast. Black turnout is through the roof, and the gerrymandering, it seems, it may have backfired in many cases, like in Tennessee and in
Texas.
South Carolina halted theirs, but now they're seeing why it needed to be halted because more and more black people are angry, and when you make black people angry, they get
That's
out and
why.
vote. That's what
That's
we
why
need.
that's why I was telling people don't get all happy with Georgia. That was a political play. Y'all remember I said it here
Yep, that was
when he
Florida.
said that they're going to call a special session. I said that is bad politics. Regardless of where I am on the political spectrum, that's bad politics. What you just did was energize one of the most potent bases in this state. And if you have that special election to redraw and gerrymander those seats, you're gonna piss off that electorate, and you darn sure gonna make sure that your opponent wins. And so when they came back and said, "Oh, we're not gonna do it right now," I rest assured, regardless of how this election turns out, they're gonna call a special election after the election and redraw those districts to especially if Keisha win, to try to tie her hands and draw those seats that are favorable to them.
Again, all the more important to vote down the ballot because who does the
Absolutely.
redrawing of the lines?
The
The
state.
Senate and the House.
Yep.
Yeah, got to make it too big to rig, man. One thing they can't do if the turnout is overwhelming, hey, you can't rig it then. So definitely got to have that turnout. But moving on to the next topic at hand, and this is one slick to the group sent to the group this morning, and there was some conversation around it. But school dress codes, who decides or who's in control of dress codes of our kids that come to school today, from elementary all the way to high school or even college? Now, with Tuskegee implementing their new dress code rules, but who's in control? Is the onus on the school itself or the parent, or is a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. And as an educator, I think it starts in the home. And this dress code has gotten out of control. I don't care if kids are wearing anything. These young ladies are wearing Daisy Dukes, boys coming in and slides, sagging their breeches. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like, I know mine better not go to school like that. So it goes back to parenting as well. But don't be surprised. A lot of these kids will go out the house looking a certain way because they know it's not going to be enforced in school, and they have a different set of clothes. So your parents can think their kids coming to school dressed how they left the house and get to school and become a totally different person. But I think it works hand in hand. But we got to do better with this, and we got to increase our standards again. And that was never an issue for us in our community but now everything's going out the window, in my opinion.
Yeah. And if the school sets a dress code, follow the dress code that the school sets. Like if they set a standard, then follow that standard. Because in the workplace, we don't get to most times we don't get to pick like what we wear to work. We have to follow a dress code. We have to dress a certain way. So if that's the standard, follow the standard, enforce the standard. I'm sure the school most times has good reason for setting that particular dress code.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, when I look at it, it should coincide with workplace readiness. You're helping them to get ready for the professionalism, the respect of authority, even safety wise. But I mean, don't have it too overwhelming though, to where they're not able to have that decision making awareness to know when to wear what. For instance, like you in corporate America, they don't always wear. When I was there, they didn't always wear suits unless the meeting required for a suit. If you're going to be in a meeting and you're presenting in front of a CEO or a C-suite of directors or something like that, of course you want to dress up that way. But in other cases, it could be lax if you're only meeting with someone in marketing or a marketing team, and then you're able to dress down and coincide and blend in that way. But Slick, this was a topic you submitted to us. What are your thoughts on it? Can you hear us?
You might have froze again.
Yeah.
Got bad
are you
weather
guys still getting bad weather up there?
It's kind of clear in Glenville now, but I'm not sure what it looked like in Augusta.
I saw him move.
Yeah, Slick, I don't know if you heard me, but I wanted to get your take on it, man. What are your thoughts on the school dress codes and who is the onus on? Is it the parents, the school, or a combination of both?
He can't hear.
He in and out.
Oh yeah, he got that Stargate.
He got that Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile. He got that video connection. Y'all remember that video store uptown? Hey,
that was the
my
one. Was that the one downtown?
I think it was the one.
We had a few of them.
The one behind. Was it the one where Parker's is now? But they had that little storefront
that was
right
a
behind
newer one. Discount. That was a newer one.
Oh, that was a newer one. So that one.
We had one up by where the where that Chinese across from the Glenville Bank. We had one.
That was
there.
Genie's.
Yeah,
Genie's.
Then we had one. Then we had one where the auto parts and
where Advanced Auto Parts is. Yeah, I remember that.
We had one there, and then we had one somewhere else. And then the other one came in the building where it's now like a meat market or something behind.
Yeah, that was so it was movie gallery.
Yeah, movie gallery.
Oh yeah, I remember movie gallery.
But you had that.
Can you hear us now, Slick?
What about now? Can y'all see me? Hold on.
Yeah, we can hear you now. You got more than one device up, though.
What about now?
It's an echo coming from somewhere.
Yeah, we can hear you, see you now.
All right, I had to go on my phone, but like I told Edmund earlier, I agree with Edmund on this. Is that I believe it is a shared responsibility. But what happens when that's a disagreement? That's why I posed that question earlier today, because I saw where a mom felt like her daughter shorts weren't too short, but the school rejected her. So what happens? Who's kind of the overriding authority on that? That's where, it kind of came into play today. I believe that you dress for success, but you know how that is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, where we are having a problem as teachers, even against the administrators, because they're so desperate for attendance, where they pretty much let kids come on to school, even if they're shorts. Because back in the day, if your shorts was longer than your longest, what's that longest finger on your hand?
You gotta do the hand test.
Yeah, you had to do that. And when I tell you, at the high school level, some of these girls are wearing shirts that go above their navel. They're wearing shorts that you can see their butt cheeks. No lie. And so it's getting out of hand. I remember one time I felt so uncomfortable as a male teacher. We had pajama day at school. This was a few years back.
Oh,
and I had to go tell one of my female colleagues, you need to tell her she got to go home and change that, because when I tell you, you can tell it was nothing under there. Like it was like, and I was like, that's a distraction. That's gonna be a distraction for them boys. And so it's gotten that bad where nobody has any standards no more.
Yeah. My son and them had pajama day, but I mean they had it tastefully to where they had to. If
Most
they didn't,
people do, but so you're gonna have some come in
but
there.
Why as a school administrator, why would you even sponsor something like that? That's why would you sponsor that? Why would you sponsor an overnight stay for seniors? I just think that poses a potential problem or issue.
Well, I kind of get both things, because it's actually one my son is proposing as SGA president this year. They still wear school gear, like Spirit shirt, and it's like a comfortable day where they can come in. It's like a pajama theme day, but you don't need to be wearing G-strings or no underwear. You know what I'm saying? Where you just flapping everything. So I mean, I get it, but
it's a way you can do it without.
Yeah, I'm trying to be PG-13, but it's a way you can do it and still be tasteful.
Yeah.
I just think that sometimes with the current state of parenting, I just think that you guys set yourself up for failure. It's nothing positive from that. That's what I.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you on that. It's just standards have been lowered all the way around, and it's just so sad to see the things that we thought were normal, and especially for Black folk. I mean, we spend probably the most money getting ready to go back to school. All the money we spend on school clothes and all this other stuff. I'm like, why? Like,
yeah, I was telling Roderick earlier this week. One of my son's teammates, I guess mother bought him some $1,000 shoe. I think they were Balenciagas or something like
them
that.
things wasn't no thousand.
Wow.
They came from the flea market. I can take you to the flea market right here in Atlanta and get them things for about $70-$80. Them kids go.
Oh, they're knockoffs everywhere. They
Yeah,
almost like
man.
when,
I be
on
telling
Mother's
kids,
Day when you see the flowers on the corner at the corner light. Now you see Balenciagas at the corner on the light.
I be busting my students out. I be like, dude, them ain't real. I said, if they were real, why you got them on and you only have a pencil?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm like, well, why would you even buy $1,000 if they're $1,000? Why would you even buy that for a kid to wear to school? Like you put more value in the shoe. Like, you know how many shoes you can buy for $1,000? That's crazy.
But that's how you know it's not
you
real,
can
man.
do with $1,000.
That's more than that'll pay some kids that could pay their family's rent for the whole year.
Damn. Rent for the whole year? Where they stay at?
Roger, don't play. You know they probably on Section 8.
God damn.
It ain't no 50 cent a month.
I swear. I mean, what are you paying over there?
Hey, some pay about 50. I don't know how to change $50, $60 a month.
Yeah, some of them can be pretty subsidized, man. I know. I mean, we were in Glenville. I used to hear about some of the rent, and it was some of them want more than $10.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was true, but
in some of those government sponsored subdivisions, such as, I ain't gonna name them, but the rent is kind of low over there.
Yeah, I mean
they got government sponsored subdivisions now.
We talk about the projects.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Them things have been paid for 10 times over. I think Jim Jones almost 100 years old.
Man, what is the most?
I think it's over 100 years old.
What is the most current or recent affordable housing project in Glenville?
No, Jim Jones was in 1960 something, I think. I can't remember.
Is Burn Village still the most recent?
Burn Village, I think that's probably the newest one, right?
I think Burn Village is the newest.
And B&D, it really isn't a government.
No, that's privately owned now, I believe.
Because I don't think the government ever sponsored it to be built or something like that. They were saying.
I can't remember what the story is behind that. It's still some Section 8 stuff over there, but it's not up under the housing authority, I don't think.
Well, what about down 301? What is that? Glenwood? Are they still privately owned?
No, those apartments.
Those apartments. I used to stay, a lot of people didn't know I used to stay in Glenwood.
Oh, for real?
I stayed in Glenwood for about a year and some change while they were doing renovations on our house.
Yeah, Glenwood apartments were some of the most expensive apartments in Glenville back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that. I was in like third grade. I was like third or fourth grade. I stayed down there because I remember a few of them stayed down the road from me.
But you know something I just thought about? The most recent affordable housing built in Glenville was those senior homes back there by Glenwood apartments.
Yeah. Those are yeah. That's the most recent, probably.
Well, we haven't had anything yet. Honestly, what I don't understand about Glenville is why they're not pursuing any grant funding to really tear down, because most cities now are tearing down their old project housing and rebuilding like mixed income where everybody can rent, and then you have some control, rent controls in place where they're redoing them and they're going up, versus out. And so it's interesting to see why they're not pursuing
So
some
you're
things like
you're
that.
asking you're asking why the people who call the prominent business owner a terrorist in town not pursuing grants for affordable housing are the
Hey,
same
you
people
already
who
know.
also pretty much outlaw mobile homes in town aren't pursuing affordable housing.
Yeah. And that's another thing I think is illegal, and I think somebody should sue, because that is akin to taking land, and the courts don't look good on taking land from property owners. And when you are outlawing certain kinds of uses like that, that's liability in
A
my
lot of
opinion.
a lot of cities do it though.
Yeah, no, but I'm telling you, a lot of cities get overturned. I remember one of my first rezonings where we wouldn't allow this company. He wanted to rezone some residential land commercial at the corner, and we had a legal opinion that said it didn't fit with the surrounding areas, and pretty much they overruled us, the courts, and we had to rezone that property to commercial what they wanted because the court said that's akin to a taking.
Well, I'm looking at a city that was Grovetown right now was a city that was basically trailers. Uh, right now, you can go through Grovetown and it's probably 10 trailers that are inside the city limits. They
Mhm.
have outlawed those trailers and they come up with some type of rule where you grandfathered in, but you can't bring in a new trailer or something like that to that matter. But they have pretty much outlawed those trailers and they've gotten away with it.
Well,
But what's the
it just depends on did anybody ever challenge them? Because of course, I mean, as long as nobody don't challenge it, anything will
I'm
stand.
pretty sure somebody
And
challenged it. You know,
and I mean, you can put standards on trailers and say you got to maintain it this way. You got to put certain you can well we only want double wides inside the city because it fits within the character of the neighborhood. But when you just outright outlaw a certain type of home, given the demographics of your town and your city, that's questionable to me.
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was about to say. Grovetown might be, as far as the economic makeup, might be a little different than might be a lot different than Glenville. We need that type of housing because that's really a lot of people's, especially young people, young working people who are working here. That's their entry into home ownership or some type
Understood.
of ownership. So we kind of need that. And then you turn around and allow somebody to sell mobile homes right in town, right behind, I believe, mm, where Fred's is,
Yes.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
But see, that's the type of stuff that makes me question the good old boy network because okay, the main person that they were trying to stop from putting trailers over by their properties over in Crodug, let's call a spade a spade.
Yep. Say it.
Then the same guy that y'all outlaw for doing that, y'all then now allow him to use his property to sell trailers on. It's like let me go ahead and satisfy this guy so we can hush him up because nobody else is going to do anything. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, it's
And I
all
think
self-serving and
they playing a
self-dealing.
little bit of a long game too, because of what they zoned it as. It leaves some potential for other stuff.
Yes. And that's the reason why I told powers that be, never outright zone a property. What we used to do when people came to us to rezone property, we will say we will only allow the use you're coming to us with. If that use stops operating or goes out of business, it goes back to its original zoning designation. That way we protect the community, because you can't, once you outright zone a property, every use that's allowed under that category can now happen and you can't say anything about it. So when the community come in and get mad and say we don't like this, it's nothing you can do because once you rezone property, that's what it's zoned to, unless you rezone it back.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts. To me, it's all self-serving and self-dealing on their end. So what is good for them is not good for everyone else. All right. But moving on to the next topic. This is another one, man. That's man, the start of the school year is pretty much among us everywhere. But kids these days aren't able to read. I'm even seeing it with particular schools specifically, or any grade level specifically. But I'm seeing where kids are super athletic, but they're not comprehending X and O's when you're putting the X and O's in front of them. And it's also bleeding. Well, the classroom is bleeding into the sports to where kids aren't able to comprehend, read, put sentences together, fill in the blank. And there's a viral video of a teacher that's going out to where he had to step out and broke down crying because of the lack of kids being able to read. Basically, they're not reading. Whose fault is it? Where has it fell in the gap? How can we get it back up? What do we need to do? Because think about it, when we're in our 70s and 80s, these kids today are the ones that are going to be the caretakers, the nurses, the doctors, the people who are going to be taking care of us when we're
No, they're not. No, they're not.
What they gonna be?
Uh,
What they gonna be?
Probably sitting right beside you.
So I mean, we're gonna have to have some people somebody's gonna have to fill in those occupational needs.
I don't think the overall. I don't think we're in panic mode. I mean, I don't really think we're in panic mode right yet. Are there kids that fit that scenario that what that guy said? Yes. We can sit here and point the fingers at who to blame. I think it's a combination of the administration and the parents, because ain't no way in the world my kid ain't gonna be able to read, and I don't know about it. But also, the school administration shouldn't be passing kids that don't make minimum levels, and so I blame both.
So let me chime in here. This is a passion of mine. First, I agree with you, Roderick, but at the same time, I put this onus on the state and on the federal government, and No Child Left Behind, because when you made high school graduation rates the litmus test for whether a school is successful or not, many teachers and are forced by administrators to pass. Do you know it is so cumbersome to fail a student today? Many teachers are saying, I ain't got time for it. Many teachers are having to fight every day just to, push back on administrators when kids are when kids are failing. I mean, you got to contact the parent 2,100 times. When parents get a progress report, a parent gets a progress report. They get a report card. They get Infinite Campus, a power school where you get immediate updates on your kid's grades, and then you will come around when it's time to see whether that kid passed or failed. They're gonna say, well, if you didn't communicate with the parent this amount of times, then we got to give the kid makeup work so that they can pass. And so what we're doing is we're continuing to pass kids on who are not qualified. And until we go back in and change it and make it where it is based on college and career readiness, we're going to continue to be where we are. Because if it's based on college and career readiness, now it's based on mastery, whether that kid is mastering the content or not versus whether they can graduate or not. And we're graduating a lot of kids who are not prepared for the real world.
Yeah, I think you gotta up the stakes for the kids. You gotta make them feel, hey, if you don't get this, you're not passing. And right now, I don't think they don't see any consequence, because, like Edmund said, they're gonna find a way to pass them. So you gotta up the stakes for the kids.
I watched the kid here at Evans, and Evans prided himself. Columbia County prides themselves as high academics. All right, so this kid was a good basketball player, potential. He had a 1 point something GPA, so they deemed him an eligible. He moved 2 counties over and played that year, and that I don't understand. To me, that's a system problem.
They want to use that kid, and they've been doing athletes like that forever. That's why a lot of these athletes, when they don't make it, they end up committing crimes. They end up broke. They end up without a job because these folks have pimped them and used them and not care about whether they are learning or whether they can read and write. And that's on parents and everybody too.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a couple of conversations too to be had, because you got kids who can read and kids who are really that can perform high academically, but they just as airheaded as I don't know what.
Yes.
Like they have no critical thinking skills. So
No
you're gonna have
sense.
people like you said, Shan, they're gonna be doctors and lawyers, but they ain't gonna know how to think their way through a situation, because I don't think they aren't mentally stimulated enough. Like information is just spoon fed to them 6 seconds at a time through.
Well,
That's what I'm
Michael,
saying. Like if there's an occupational need, I mean, they're just gonna lower the standards to fill those gaps.
Well, Michael, you make a good point. Michael, you make a good point, and I think and I'm gonna tell you who I blame on that, about the dizziness of some kids, and you have to look in the mirror, because it's us parents. We do not let our kids do any type of critical thinking. Anything that is difficult, we do it for them. We fill out applications for them. We make doctor's appointments for them. We do everything possible for them to make their lives easier. And all of a sudden, this kid becomes an 18 or 19-year-old college student and has never did anything on his own. And I blame us I'm telling you, I did that with my kids. My kids will call me to make a doctor's appointment 10 states away. And I'm like, bruh, get on Google, find what you need, use the 1-800 number. You know what I'm saying? And it was frustrating, but then I had to realize that I was the problem. I did everything for this kid his whole life, and that's where the dizziness is coming from.
Can I push back just a little bit for you, Roderick, though? Are you the problem, or are you allowing them to be a kid? Because what I would submit in this conversation is that we had to grow up before we needed to grow up. And I think oftentimes we had to do so much on our own because we had, different situations around parenting, and to parent our kids and allow our kids to be kids is looked at as bad. I think there needs to be a balance here. Now, I'm not saying
but we have moved.
But I think, in my humble opinion, is that we had to grow up too fast in some instances where we are overly, independent, if that makes sense, if you see what I'm trying to say.
And I agree with you, but we also have a bad habit of trying to live vicariously through our kids. A lot of our parents in today's market, we are pushing our kids to. We are really pushing our kids, you know what I'm saying, to be the high academic kid, the best athlete, the best music guy. We're investing in them kids. We're doing everything possible for that kid to be number one. And I'm not saying that's a wrong thing to do, but when we do that, sometimes what we do is we fill out that application, or we run their Twitter accounts, or we go out and we say, nope, these are the 5 colleges I want you to go to. We kind of do that, and we do it with love, but I think that takes a kid, for everything that we grew up fast with, they're not growing up fast enough, and that boils over into other things like the military. So now, when I'm getting a military kid, he's used to a certain standard, and he don't know how to operate. He don't even know how to clean a bathroom. He don't know how to clean a room. And it just rolls over into real life, because we as parents felt like we were pushed too much, and now we don't want that on our kids.
And I agree, because I work with the transitions, and I'm starting to see soldiers coming in younger, born in 2006, born in 2007, born in 2003, and these kids can't do anything.
Nothing.
And so we're trying to prepare them for life in civilian world that they've never experienced, and trying to teach them how to be a cut above the rest, because it's not enough to just be a veteran anymore. You have to separate yourself from, because I tell you, you're not just competing with other service members who get now. You compete for jobs with college kids. You compete for jobs with high school kids who are going straight into the workforce, and other adults who are trying to change careers. So there's a lot of competition out there, and you have to figure out how to set yourself apart. But then we also have to just teach them some of the basic stuff, like, hey, you might want to change your email from Sexy Bunny 2005 to something else.
Yeah.
Or, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think too, when you're doing those things, Roger, one of the things that I do is, if we're doing it, we're working on it together. So you see, step
good.
by step how to do this. So when I'm on like, go in there and cook, like I'm teaching it how to cook, do stuff like that. So mine, it's, you got to have that equal balance, because I told him, you could be so smart till you're dumb. Right, you got to have some common sense in this thing, and so you got to teach those soft skills as well. And so that's what I try to do. Where you just you balance and you well rounded. But yeah, I sit there and do it with them, so that at least I can show you and model for you how to do this, and then once we get there, then we go from there.
No,
yeah, I agree with that. You definitely got to have balance, because like in our case, like we take Landon and everything. We even took him to primary voting yesterday, so he sees the civic process of that. And I feel like you have to have balance, because there could be the other end of it, to where you have kids that are over ambition and I know more than my mom and dad, let me fill it out myself. And Landon goes through that sometimes, where he's so over ambitious to where he'll fill something out on his own trying to be independent, and he did it wrong instead of coming to me and check or let me look at it first. So there definitely has to be a balance with that.
Well, Micah know this. We have a problem, the Kings. We have a big problem with it must be something in our genetics, but our kids really will try you, because they feel like you're an outdated model. And sometimes you have to let them fall a little bit. Sometimes you got to help them out a little bit. But I won't stop that. You know what I'm saying? I won't stop that, because I like that aggressiveness. But I do sometimes, like my daughter, we have to sit down and we have debates. And sometimes I have to tell her to shut up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, sometimes I got to tell her to shut up. But I like the way she really thinks through her stuff, because it's gonna help her when I'm not there. I'd rather her fight back a little bit than a kid that just say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It must be something in our DNA, because I have to tell mine the same thing. Like, please just shut up.
Just shut up,
man.
Not right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I feel like saving the world right now, man. Not now.
Man, mine are on the two opposite ends of the spectrum. One, I had to tell shut up when she was his age, and then the other one, I had to check to see if he's even in the room, because he's so quiet. So yeah, I'm like stuck in the middle trying to find that balance with it. But man, we definitely got to get these reading levels up. I know you say Slick, they gonna be right beside us, but those occupational needs are gonna be there. We're gonna have to fill in those gaps, because you think about it, these crazy jokers are hiring video game players to be air traffic controllers right now, because there's an occupational need for that. So now imagine when we get old. In China right now, they're hiring bodybuilders to help take care of the elderly right now, bro.
We better invest in GTA 6 so they know how to fly the planes, man.
Bro, go look at the recent hires, bro. They hit their quota for recruits faster than any other time in history, because they lowered the standards and started hiring video game players. So y'all be careful if y'all flying this fall.
Well, I'm gonna push back a little bit on that, because the military had did a good drive about hiring video game players to operate drones and different things like that, because of the hand and eye coordination and different things. Yeah. They believed that they could train those individuals up. The standards weren't lowered, the entry level standards were, but the training itself was not lowered.
He in and out, but yeah, no, he right. They do. The military deploys a lot like video game developers to develop the training and people to operate the machines and stuff like that. Like he said, because of the hand-eye coordination, because of it's
So are
similar
those
movement and button
civilians?
pressing.
Are those civilians or are they enlisted?
No, they hire some enlist some civilians,
Right. So
especially
with the
for
air
drones.
traffic
They
controllers,
make
the ones I've seen, they were civilian video game players. And civil training and military training is often different at times.
Sometimes they're at the same location.
yeah,
but the standards may be a little different.
They train at the same location sometimes. Yeah, and most of the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But I mean, it remains to be seen. I mean, sometimes novel ideas turn out to be a good idea, but a lot of times it could raise the risk levels of a lot of things that used to be normal.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll know sooner than later.
Yeah. They probably still got to
be right about that. You're right about that, man. But man, not much more left in the show. But our sailors that are out there, I know me and Slick went back and forth on it, but our sailors that are out there right now, I saw some reports today. I guess they're going to be trying to have them come home soon and switching them out. But what are you guys' take on it? I mean, to me, it's more, the lack of resources could be true, could not be true. But what about the mental health aspect of it? That's what I'm really worried about, because those guys got to come home. And I mean, I know guys who never been deployed out there, but they have mental health issue because they've been deployed somewhere and been homesick from it and worried about what goes at home. So do you think everything will be okay once they get home? Does more need to be done? I mean, what are you guys' thought on it?
I'm gonna let you guys go first, man, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna sum this all up.
Yeah, I really don't have personal experience with me myself being deployed. Have seen where of course, being so close to the military base, you see where soldiers get deployed and they go. Some have a hard time. Some, they handle it, come back, and they go through the process to kind of get back home. And they have, at least with the part of the military I'm experienced with, they have processes to help them kind of reintegrate from being deployed. So they'll go to talk to somebody about the mental health aspect of it. Now they do talk to somebody about the mental health aspect of it. Go to different appointments to make sure that everything is all right when they come back. And then you got some that have a little bit too good of a time over there where they get sent to. And so they come back and have to deal with some other things when they get back. But I'm not sure how it is for the Navy because they are on water. So I guess it's a little bit different on a ship, being on a ship in the middle of nowhere and not really knowing I'm sure they kind of have some kind of directive, but I don't know if they know like the full, like what's going on or what's the end game or anything like that for their deployment.
Edmund?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little sidetracked there, y'all. I'm drafting.
He's still drafting his fantasy team.
I got you. But
Slick finna pick that old raggedy behind team. You about to pick, Slick.
Yeah. Hey, so check this out,
I
though.
Gonna lie. I wasn't gonna perpetrate. I was gonna try to wing it, but I said I can't. I gotta be honest.
Hey, Mike, he don't pick Shannon and Sterling Sharp second and first round.
He done. He done.
Hey, I can get ready for our draft.
He got Jalen Hurts as his quarterback. He got Jalen Hurts as his quarterback.
Oh no, not happening. Not happening.
Le'Veon Bell as his running back.
Hey, Shannon, you better draft Jalen this year. As much as cheerleader you've been on.
No, he was good until last year. I must have jinxed him.
Yeah,
I must have
jinxed
jinxed him.
Y'all saw the video I sent, but we can finish this. But that video I sent where the social media team posted in slow motion him throwing a pick.
Oh yeah.
At practice. Oh man, that was funny to me.
Hey, so I've talked to a couple of my military buddies. I was in the Air Force, so I'm not going to sit there and talk about deployments because most of my deployments, even on a bad day, was probably some of the other guys' best days. And I'm not going to fake like I was roughing it. I did go through some abnormal times when I was deployed. Deployments bring on a heavy mental barrier with people. You do not want to be there. You are away from your family. You're away from everyday things. All right. It takes a special person to go to a deployment, get through it, do your job at a high level, and come back home. All right. That's the first thing. I don't know about the Navy. I've asked a couple of my Navy guys, and they said that being on the ship. Hold on, that's my little thing. From what I was told, you live in close quarters. You are responsible for all the cleaning. You depending on other people to bring you supplies, et cetera, et cetera. But what I was told also that, and I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong, but I know the difference between having a bad deployment and how to express that and what's a safety issue and what's not. What me and Hot Dog was discussing the other day was we were talking about the urinals and the bathrooms not being clean. And I said, that's a chief problem. I said that leadership should take care of that. As an NCO, that is your job. That's what you get paid for. Now that chief cannot probably order supplies in a war zone, but he can make sure those urinals are clean. He can make sure that them bunk beds are clean. He can make sure that the rest and work cycle is on, is presented to those guys for health reasons. That he can do. That you don't need the president to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? That's a chief thing. So I had an issue with that particular part of the video that was posted. Now, again, when you deploy, you do have a certain area or rank structure or rank individual.
Yeah, he froze again, though.
That are new to deployments, they first or second deployments. They have a tendency to kind of to over exaggerate some of the stuff. All right. Everybody's not made for the military. Everybody's not made for deployments. The problem is when you in the military, everybody got to deploy.
You do it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. So sometimes you go out to a deployment and 5 of them guys were already checked out before they even got on land. So all they do is complain, not work, come to work late, come up missing. Some of them guys commit suicide. Some of them guys go AWOL. You'll be surprised how many people go AWOL in the desert. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to get home, dude? You know what I'm saying? It is several documented cases where people disappear for a week at a time. Matter of fact, it was a famous case where the guy left and then got caught, and then they had to send a team, and the team got killed. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was an Army guy. I can't remember, but it was during the first Bush War. But it happens like that. I've been in 20 years, and I've seen, but I've been a part of 6 different suicides, and they all could have been prevented. One guy shot himself because his girlfriend left him. They put him to work anyway with a gun. Shot himself.
Wow.
One dude wife sent a video of him, of her cheating. They wouldn't let him go home. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just bad leadership. You know what I'm saying? We had one guy, he was like kind of finicky. He didn't want to use public restrooms, didn't want to use bathrooms. This boy would go in and take showers. He had to be ordered to take showers. To me, that's a mental health problem. That's dealing with deployment. They don't care because they got to have certain number of people that's got to be present for duty at a certain time, so leadership is important and morale is important. In the military, morale is so important. It is almost as important as having that gun on your hip. All right, because one bad apple can mess up a whole unit. And what I see with the Navy is, and I'm disappointed, is that this guy's family, regardless of he's right or wrong, this guy's family went public on some issues that this guy's gonna have to take care of when he gets back. His team is never gonna forgive him for whatever his mom, dad, wife did.
Just keep in mind, it ain't one guy. It's like
it don't matter if it's 10 of them. It don't matter if it's 10 of them. They're going to have to answer that when they come back to their unit. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you that's what it is. It shows a sign of weakness, and it shows a sign of not being disciplined. You know what I'm saying? It is, if you feel like it's certain things that are not right, it's a chain of command for you to go up that chain of command and get those things taken care of. If that chain of command is not doing exactly what you're supposed to do, it is another route to that. You know what I'm saying? Going on your Wi-Fi and going on camera and just going and taking pictures, that is not the correct way of doing business. It's not. Just because you're right don't mean you're right.
Right. And I know there's protocols in it, but what is the SOS signal to say, hey, something's not right? We don't even know the end game of this strategy.
That ain't your job. Your job is to follow orders, hot dog.
Right. Your job is to stay alive also. You follow orders.
Your job is to follow orders, hot dog.
So your job is to follow orders to die.
Your job is to follow orders. You don't want to die. No, nobody goes out there and say, I want to die. But your job is to follow orders.
So for instance, today they had pictures of planes with messages written on the wings of the plane, messages written on the bombs of the plane. And they weren't positive messages. They were like SOS messages. So
I can't speak for that.
To me, I think I agree with you with the leadership, but the leadership doesn't start with the chief. Like, shouldn't they have a strategy to see, okay, what are the consequences of our actions by doing X, Y, Z? And could this impact our readiness with the sailors, the soldiers, or whoever's involved?
That's not your job. That's your leadership job to do that.
I'm saying not just the leadership of the boat itself, but the Pentagon, the Secretary of Defense, the Commander in Chief. Like, why there's a strategy?
You asking military members to kind of go against their orders or think about their orders before they execute them. That is not the military. And if individuals we don't need them in the military. I'm not
talking about they enlisted. I'm talking about those in the higher up. Like, you're not going to do something without looking at the consequences and repercussions of what could take place downstream.
You ever hear the term above my payroll?
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
I use it.
Yeah. So you make the decisions that you can affect. If a legit order comes down, even if I disagree with it, my job is to execute those orders. Now, I try to execute those orders the best and safe way I can to my people. I've been over and led over 200 people on a daily basis. When sometimes in not being safe, like I remember working a 21-hour shift, coming back, getting 5 hours sleep, and then having them same individuals come back to work in 12 hours. I disagree with that. I didn't think that was safe. But what I did was that I probably would have got in trouble with is I did what I call one up, one down. I let one of them go to sleep while the other one was up patrolling. I would never do that. You know, I would probably go to jail if they knew I did that. But what I'm telling you is I made a decision based off what I can control for the safety of my people. What I didn't do is go back call.
We lost him.
Yeah, he froze.
Yeah, he froze up.
Yeah, it
froze
probably
up.
froze. They probably tired of hearing me what saying. But you can't do what you're doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight like that.
No, I'm not saying you can't fight. Yes, you got to follow orders because you're line level. I'm just saying the direction that, like this administration, for instance, like there is no in-game strategy that's been relayed down to them. Like you mentioned morale. How can you keep morale up if you have no in-game to the strategy? How can you keep readiness up when you're just doing things to do them and don't know what the end game is? But
we're going to do that regardless of who's in charge.
And then, so, I mean, I think I told you before. So by your logic and methodology that you explained to us and to me, we have no safeguards from the inside.
Not in the aspect of what you're trying to do. You know, the military is never going to fight back because that's not our job. That's not how we train.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
To follow
so
order.
That's not your job, not how you train. But what if somebody infiltrates at that level? Like, for instance, Trump. I mean, his health is declining. His mental aptitude is declining big time. So
that ain't.
They just gonna blindly follow?
That ain't my concern. That's above my pay level.
Right, but I mean, before it gets to you, there are people in command and in that chain. They're just gonna blindly follow whatever he says.
I don't know exactly what they do because I never worked in the Pentagon or in higher ups. I've only been mid-level leadership, and I can tell you when it gets to me, the discussion is over with.
But even at those levels though, they all been trained the same way. So I'm following the person. So it's not going to be a lot of it's not really going to be a lot of pushback unless it's somebody. But to be honest, it's even, hey, I got to execute what the person above me said execute.
No safeguards, bro. No safeguards. So it's just one of those things, bro. I mean, I agree with you on a lot of that. I mean, my biggest thing is the mental health aspect. Like, I mean, even all of us individually may have dealt with mental health at one point. I just don't like to belittle what somebody said or say they're exaggerating because I don't know. You don't know. It could be true. It could not be true, but it remains to be seen.
From my experience, a lot of that stuff is exaggerated. Like, for instance, I watched the video. I watched the video of a Navy guy that walks around with his camera, and he was taking pictures of the current state of the bathroom. Well, what he didn't tell you is that wasn't the USS Lincoln. That was a ship that was docked and not used. When I talked to a chief petty officer, he said that bathrooms are cleaned religiously because they don't want any type of disease getting out on the ship. So I'm gonna go with who I think is leadership. You know what I'm saying? Because leadership are the ones that take care of that and make sure that it gets done. It ain't like I'm sitting there saying, "Oh, this dude lying." That shit might have been dirty. What I'm telling you is, it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that part of it too, but I just don't like to belittle what other people's experiences are if I haven't gone through that experience, or saying they're exaggerating. I mean, I don't know. Their families
can tell you this: if you were
Yeah, you froze again, dog, if you can hear me.
Now, I don't know about the Navy, but I know in the Army sometimes they do embellish a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even in the Navy, I think any occupation embellishes a lot. Any occupation that's we all work in, whether it's civilian or non-civilian. I mean, I'm enlisted. I mean, there's going to be some embellishment. But sometimes with this administration, these aren't normal times. I'm just saying they're abnormal. So there could be some truth to it.
And I'm telling you that no deployment is no different than the next deployment. We hate them all.
Under this administration?
All deployments are, we hate all.
No, I'm saying usually most deployment have an end game. What is the end game in this one?
They don't know.
Yeah, and then we're saying they have plenty of supplies. I just saw where helicopters were landing, providing supplies. Now that is hit the news, and there's a lot of backlash with it.
All I know is you're asking us to. And I got it, hot dog. I know you don't like this administration, but what I'm telling you is, from a military perspective, we don't care where the orders come from. We can't do that. You can't sit there and say, well, I'm a Democrat, he's a Republican, I don't like his orders. We can't do that.
Well, no, it ain't that. I'm more of, why don't you push back on the orders when they make no sense?
You can't. By law, I can only push back on orders that are illegal.
So if it threatens readiness, it lacks strategy.
I can only push back on orders that are illegal. That's it.
All right, but under this administration, when politicians put out videos saying, hey, only follow legal orders, this administration says it's illegal to do that.
They wrong. I mean, so I don't see where old boy gonna get in trouble. Ain't nobody got in trouble yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not gonna try to get him in trouble or threaten them with trouble.
Even to this day, because I'm a retiree, I still follow up under UCMJ on certain aspects. What I'm telling you is that when unless that order is illegal, it takes away order and discipline if we sit there and discuss things that we do not like. When you don't have order and discipline in the military.
Yeah, you gotta have some order and discipline.
And if I got a guy that threatens order and discipline, I am gonna get rid of him, no matter what his intent is.
Right. No matter if it's unethical and lacks.
No matter what.
So when they kill school kids, hey, he followed orders. That was the discipline of the orders that were given.
It don't work that way. If they scout school kids and then they go through an investigation, if they find out that it was intentional, if it was an accident, everything is taken care of.
Yeah, but if you remove the safeguards from it, and then after the investigation, when it should have been preventable beforehand, who's at fault then?
Those that made the policy.
So yeah, the real safeguard is really the citizens. So
exactly,
we vote for the commander in chief.
Thank you.
So we're the only
that's
safeguard.
Once he get in there, there are no safeguards. Whatever he ordered, the military have to do.
The Senate, the House,
the Senate,
and the Supreme Court.
Now, which one of them have stopped him from doing what they're doing?
Hey, bro, I'm telling you where the safeguards at. Again, that's where it is.
That kind of falls back on us too, because we got to vote for all of them.
Once you vote all of them in, there are no safeguards. I'm talking about now. There are no safeguards. We got to vote in the right people to have safeguards. But once we pass that threshold, what is the threat? What are the safeguards?
Civilians are doing us no favor by telling folks to buck the system, especially if they're in the military. They're not doing those guys any favors, because those guys fall up under UCMJ. Those guys will be, I'm telling you, they do not play about order and discipline.
Right. So
they will be held accountable when they get off that boat.
So, for instance, and I think higher ups have talked him out of it, Trump was willing to put boots on the ground. So there, if he say, hey, y'all got to go boots on the ground on the shore of the Hormuz Strait, we're finna do a on-land invasion, they got to just follow it?
If them orders come down, you got to follow those orders. Bruh, I've seen, hey, you talk like this is the first time. We invaded a whole country on the premise that they had nuclear weapons. So this ain't the first time this happened.
Yeah, but there was at least a strategy with that, and then
What
that
was the
attitude
strategy?
of that administration was
Tell me what the
largely
strategy
I don't
was.
know if there was a strategy for Iraq.
Oil
Cause
was the strategy.
we just shut down bases 5 years ago. That was part of that strategy you talking about.
And did we not confiscate a lot of resources from that strategy? They
We
went. We
left
know
them.
that there was
We
no
left them
WMDs.
resources.
The oil and all of that, and all the contracts and all of that stuff.
We left a lot
did
of
with
equipment
that.
over there.
We left a lot of
We
stuff.
did, but so did the military industrial complex made a lot of money off of that.
They probably did, but what I'm telling you
As a
is,
part
I
of their
didn't.
strategy.
I made $3.65 a day.
That's a part of their strategy, bro.
Hostile fire paid. That's what I got paid.
That's what I'm saying. That was a part of their strategy.
I followed orders. I mean, that's the part of everybody can't be in the military, man. That's all it is. If you come in the military and you start questioning, we gonna get rid of you.
And I'm a say this too to the if something happens to where they have to move to get rid of you, which they will do, they can also decide what your benefits look like after they get rid of you. So they have to be careful about that too. Because if you put a whole bunch of time in and then
they already looking at that. I saw last week, and Slee, you probably can attest to it. They were saying that retirees shouldn't get disability. They got to choose one or the other.
Yeah, they've been arguing that. Yeah, they've been arguing that. I remember when I was in, me and my wife are both military. We both independent. Like she does her time, I do my time. Mm-hmm. And we get BAH. Each military member gets BAH and BAS. I've seen people say that because we were married, one of us wasn't entitled to BAH. And I said, if one of us not entitled to BAH, then which one of us ain't got to do our PT test? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard them saying that retirement, they've changed the retirement, just to let you know. The new troops that are coming in right now doesn't get the same retirement that I do. I got 50% of my top three, the average of my top three. And that is no longer the case. So if your kid joined the military right now, they're not getting the same retirement as I did.
Right. But the articles I saw was impacting current retirees, the ones that
they've been doing it. That's been a 20-year argument. I don't think it's gonna happen. It probably ain't gonna happen in my time. And it's probably gonna fade out anyway, but they're gonna tighten up on all those 100%, all them 100% PTs, permanent people that are on getting these second checks. They gonna tighten up on that. The VA is gonna tighten up on it. It's a lot of people claiming some stuff. I'm not saying it ain't good, it ain't bad. I'm telling you this is that a lot of people don't know what a veteran go through. And I'm 51 right now, and I've been in constant pain for almost 15 to 20 years now. You know, how do you compensate a guy for that? Not that little bit of money they giving me every month. You know what I'm saying? You know, so they got a problem. And you got people outside of serving that don't understand that. And we as military members, we have to quit going to work with our coworkers and bragging about our benefits. You know, I'm a teacher, Edmund a teacher. And I'm telling Edmund, yeah, I'm 100% disability, and I get a retirement check, and I'm getting a check, this same check Edmund get. And Edmund looking at me like, man, you doing the same job. You look healthy to me. You know what I'm saying? And so we're doing a lot of that on ourselves too.
Nah, I mean, even with all you just said, I feel like y'all still don't get enough. Because I look healthy and able-bodied outside, that don't mean I don't have sleep apnea. I don't have PTSD.
I work around a lot of 100%ers, and yeah, they might look healthy, but when you start talking to them, I'm like,
yes, sir.
Hey, I'm 51, bro. I got like 7 bottles I got to take daily. I got to take shots. I got, you know what I'm saying? My wife is the same way. We're not really healthy because some of it was military culture. Some of it was I went into the desert and I worked at a port and sniffed sulfur for 12 hours a day for 180 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm having
That's why
lung
I say
problems.
y'all don't.
Yep.
You deserve way more than you getting.
Yeah. You know,
Deserve way
it's
more,
it's
bro.
just certain things that a lot of people don't know, but they just assume. They just assume that there's a lot of sorry military members that are taking advantage of a system and getting a second check. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. You know, a lot of these guys are taking, doing the PTSD. I know a guy that's getting PTSD and he ain't never deployed. So I don't know how he got that. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them know how to go to the, they got people who kind of
People are paying folks $10,000 to write to write up their stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, but all of that being said, that's still a drop in the bucket compared to the industrial military complex. Those big contracts they get, we go start wars so we can rebuild the locations through the military industrial complex, KBR, god dang on General Dynamics, all of them, bro. They're in all in cahoots.
I ain't got no problems with it, bro. I eat every day off that trough.
Yeah, I ain't got no problems with you getting more than what you getting. You get your fair share. If those who are 100%, but they're able and well by, nothing wrong with them, but they've served, I ain't got no problem with them getting their fair share of it. So that's just how I look at it. If the big people eat, the little people should eat.
Hey, yeah, going back to the thing in the situation with the Navy, everybody's not meant to be in the military. And on top of that, one thing we do not do in the military is listen to service members, family members. That is like a big no-go. Some of the most problem people in the military are the dependent spouses. Them people are out of control. You know what I'm saying? I can go and give you 1,000 stories about a dependent spouse, but that person right there is a problem. And they make problems and there's no accountability for that particular person. You know, so you have to be careful how you get information from them.
I agree, but it's just a whole cabal when you ask the president, hey, do you think they've been out there long enough? And you turn to the camera and say, no, they haven't been out there long enough. How does that impact you mentally in the military?
I didn't like the comment, but he does not affect my day-to-day operation.
Right, but if you don't know what the end game and when the last day of your day-to-day operation is, then that's
you can't think like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is like let me tell you something, that one of the most hurtful things that I've ever done. I was on a deployment. I was supposed to be there 120 days. I wind up staying there. No, I was supposed to be there 180 days. I wind up staying there 223 days. On my 181 day, really 160 days, they had no plan for us to come back. That's normally not the case. Normally you have a team in place that is already projected to come relieve you. They had not had none of that done. All right, this is 160 days. We supposed to leave in 20 days. All right, so we finally found out at 190 days that we got a team to come in. All right, they was projected to come at 210 days. All right, at 210 days, they finally get there. When they get there, they tell us that we got to do training. Never in my career that we've done training with the new team. So we spent another additional 7 days doing training with the team. All right, after that, during that process of my deployment, I had a young troop steal my wallet and did some credit card fraud. He got caught, so he was gonna get court-martialed. So the day we were supposed to leave, we've cleaned out the dorms, the buses are pulling up. My commander walks up to me, hands me his vehicle keys, and say, hey, I need you to drive that individual that stole my wallet, drive him to a different base, and we have to stand by and to see whether or not CENTCOM commander was going to let us come home or to keep us there for a court martial. You want to talk about the worst day of my life? it was happened to be around Valentine's Day. Me and my wife had already set up plans, et cetera, et cetera. And I almost cried in front of all my people because I thought I was going home that day. Didn't go home for another 6 days. You got to be mentally tough. You can't question. You got to stay disciplined. And that's just how it is, bro. If not, don't serve.
Yeah, I get all of it. I mean, a lot of people signed up under false pretense. Never thought they would have to go through what they go through. But you're right. You got to be mentally tough and expect the unexpected. So
yeah,
definitely. But man, thank y'all for tuning in to the Corner Store podcast. Once again, thanks Miss Abigail Warrens for tuning in with Abby Cakes. And if you're out there and have a small business, our platform is open to you, especially if you're in the Southeast Georgia area there in Glenville and Tattnall County. We definitely want to shed a spotlight on you and your business so we can bring awareness, exposure, and hopefully more business to you. We try to go on every other week. We have some other cast members, pretty smart. They've been on the road lately. But send us some topics. Stay tuned to the page. Interact, engage. Let us know what you want to talk about. Football season is here. Go Dogs. Go Tigers. I don't know about the Falcons, man. Did y'all watch any of the Falcons?
Oh, yeah. I fell asleep on that game.
Man, Matty Ice up there looking lost, bro. Like you did this too, sir.
Yeah, y'all did this when y'all hired Stefanski. I was like, y'all already.
Yeah, they are. That was like another disappointment.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, man. And then Shador and Deshaun put their skills to the test on yesterday. Did y'all catch any of that?
Yeah, I saw. I mean, it was up and down for both.
I ain't watched nothing.
Yeah. But I guess when you go back and you look at the Shador pass where he threw the interception, most people can now see that the ball was wet and it slipped off his hand and it sailed.
Yeah. I mean, preseason is so vanilla, it's hard to even judge off a lot of it. So
yeah.
The Browns are gonna brown. So it is what it is until they see who we see different.
And the Falcons.
Slick, you say you ain't watched nothing, Slick?
I ain't watched nothing, man.
Good. Keep watching nothing so you pick bad in fantasy.
I'm over here picking now. I think I got pretty decent squad.
Slick, go on and pick Casey Johnson and Rodney Dinkins on there for me, dog.
I know Kelly. Kelly going last this year.
Yeah. Oh man, he always end up going first somehow, man. He done tapped into the algorithm some kind of way.
It's Tom.
Yeah,
I got y'all. I'm ready.
I'm gonna go and do my little ChatGPT GM setup. Might have to send you my cheat sheet, Roger. But man, all love all the time. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Corner Store podcast. We know y'all watch our replay, so leave the comments in the chat. Let us know what you think about some of the subjects. House District 157. Once again, go to votegeorgia157.com/store. Let's pick up some merch from our future House District 157 Congressman Micah King. Got Edmund up in the building. He's gonna be somewhere with Keisha when she get in there. Hey, dog, get us in there. Let us have a podcast from the governor's mansion, dog. When you get in there. And then Slick, I was gonna reach out to Ray earlier today, but I ain't want to know last minute. But tell him we definitely want him to get on the show.
Yeah, he in fall camp right now.
Okay. So once the season get rolling, we definitely want to keep up to date with him and all things Ray and all things King kids and everyone else's kids. And Micah, tell QB1 to hit me up because he's following in my shoes. So I don't know if he told you, Slick. His son about to be QB1 at Tattnall.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I thought he was cornerbacking.
He was.
Yeah.
So they let him try it out. So we'll see how it go.
All right.
He still didn't give up the cornerback position. He said he's still holding on to that.
So, all right. I might have to come down then.
Yeah, I'm saying he got some big shoes to fill. I still got the longest run by QB there. 80 yards, still on the board.
No, that's a good little run.
Yeah. But other than that, man, thank everyone for tuning in. We'll see you on the page, see you in the chat, and we'll keep you posted on when we go on live again. I know this was kind of last minute, but we'll do a better job of getting it out there to y'all. So stay tuned and be prepared to vote. Change is on the way. Let's get it.
Yeah.